Hello and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Crypto rallies into weekend. Bitcoin heads for its best week since early 2021. Could we be going into a bull market? Well, I've got this article here that goes into that, so I thought I'd do a quick read for you guys and then we can dig into that a little bit further. First and foremost, I'd just say, it's just good to see positive price action, right? With everything that's going on and with the turmoil around the world at the moment, it's always nice to see that, it's not all doom and gloom. So we'll get into the article and then I'll give my thoughts afterwards, okay? Cryptocurrencies resumed their rally on Friday, climbing above the $26,000 mark for the second time this week. Bitcoin was last higher by 6.8% and trading at $26,709 according to Coin Metrics. It's headed for its best week since January 2021, which was right before the first bull run that year. Ether rose by 3.5% to $1,744.24 and is on pace for its best week since August 2021. Prices kept climbing even as the Dow and S&P 500 futures fell Friday morning as traders digested the future of Credit Suisse. The bank's fate continued to weigh on investors even after the embattled lender said it will borrow up to 50 billion Swiss francs from the Swiss National Bank. Yoa Heswega, probably butchered that name, an analyst at Japanese crypto firm Bitbank, said a close above $26,000 for Bitcoin could signal the beginning of a bull market. Investors have welcomed resilient crypto prices amid the banking crisis this week. The week kicked off with the closures of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank late Sunday, but attention was on First Republic Bank throughout the week. Late Thursday, several large US banks stepped in to aid it with $30 billion in deposits. Many have suggested Bitcoin is undergoing a narrative shift among the banking crisis. The cryptocurrency's price moves, however, are still heavily influenced by inflation and Federal Reserve rate hikes. Quote, I still don't see enough evidence to think the Fed will back off its higher for longer stance, even if it stops hiking rates, unquote, said Callie Cox, US investment analyst at eToro. Quote, high rates are tough for speculative crypto to survive in. I also think it's extra important to understand how your investments make money and what the risks are. High rates can cool the herd, and the big could get bigger. We've essentially seen that happen in the traditional banking system right now, unquote. Right, so that's the article. So, first and foremost, as I say, I'm just happy to see that things are going in a positive way for crypto. I think that's great to see. I'm not a chart analyst, so I can't give you any kind of technical analysis in regards to this. So I won't pretend to do that. But there's someone in here who gave advice, and it sounds like they would have some kind of chart analyst background from the information that they've given. Because I doubt they would just try and get this from someone just throwing out a random speculation. But I will say this, I would be surprised if we was to see a bull market this soon, just with everything that's going on with the economy at the moment. It does seem a bit premature, but hey, I'm hopeful. I would love to see. And one thing I did notice here when I was reading this article is how they talked about Bitcoin still going up, even though the S&P 500 and the Dow was going down. Now, the reason why I say that's an interesting thing is because, one thing I have seen when I do watch people who talk about, chart analysis and stuff like that, they talk about the Bitcoin decoupling, and that's basically when Bitcoin decouples from the stock market and it kind of becomes its own faction. Because at the moment, there is evidence out there that's been said to say that, Bitcoin and cryptos are heavily correlated with the stock market. And I would agree with that from the information that I've seen presented. And so seeing things like this and what's happened with the banking crisis that's currently going on, maybe this is the time now where people do start looking at crypto differently. And maybe this might be one of the cause and effects of Bitcoin decoupling from the stock market. And so now it might take its own form. And it will be, moving on its own. The crypto market will be moving on its own and not tied to the stock market. So that's definitely an interesting thing to see. But yeah, in terms of, is this the meaning of a bull market? I wouldn't really get too ahead of ourselves just yet. I think we've still got more time to see how everything goes. This might just be like a relief rally and then it slowly filters back down. But I definitely am hopeful, and while I may be a little bit skeptic, I hope it's right. I would love to see a bull market right now. That would be great. But yeah, I am going to be a little bit cautious on that. But interesting article nonetheless. And yes, we'll see how things go. But here's hoping. Yeah, here's hoping. But what do you guys think? What do you think of the price action that you've seen? Do you think this is the start of a bull market? Do you think Bitcoin can go higher? Just let me know your thoughts. I'd be interested to hear. Just before I do go, I will just put this one last article I did also see here, where they've actually said, because of what's happened with Bitcoin, they're now looking at the 28k region. So again, that's another article that's now saying that they're like bullish on Bitcoin with the rally that it's recently seen. So again, that's not just one article here that are speaking positive. That's another one that's backing it up. So yeah, definitely going to be interesting times to see what happens. But as I say, thank you for watching this, guys. If you did like it, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. But until the next one, take care.